The first assumption was that the anomaly was a calibration error. That assumption would cost them time. The second assumption was that the anomaly was harmless. That assumption would cost them worlds. The containment world had been chosen with obsessive care. No native biosphere, no atmosphere capable of sustaining unplanned propagation, a sterile sphere of engineered terrain and layered failsafes, gravitational anchors, localized reality dampeners, and a kill lattice capable of collapsing the planet into inert debris within seconds. Nothing had ever escaped it. Nothing had ever needed to. The Predator's incubation chamber rested at the center of that world, suspended in a cradle of force fields and monitoring arrays so dense they distorted local space. The galaxy watched. The humans did not. When neural activity first registered, it was weak, fragmented. Technicians relaxed. Apex predators, after all, woke as animals. They reacted. They lashed out. They tested boundaries. This one did not. Its neural patterns did not spike in panic or hunger. They aligned. That was the first deviation from expectation. Observers spoke in confident tones. It is dormant. It lacks environmental context. It will require time to acclimate. The data did not support these conclusions. The creature's brain activity displayed synchronization across regions that, in modern apex species, never activated simultaneously. Memory centers lit alongside predictive modeling structures. Emotional response nodes, ancient, crude by modern standards, fired not in chaos, but in sequence, as if checking systems, as if counting. The humans had seen patterns like this before. That was why they were not present. The Legal Harmonization Council convened again. They reassured themselves with language. Words like controlled and partial and non-viable were repeated until they felt real. The creature, they insisted, was incomplete, its genome intentionally truncated, its physiology limited. They had resurrected most of it, not all. They believed this mattered. They did not yet understand what kind of predator it was. The first physical movement occurred 12 hours after neural activation. A minor contraction. Muscle fibers tightening against containment restraints. Applause rippled through the observer lattice. Progress, life, success. No one noticed that the movement had occurred only after the creature's auditory structures finished developing. No one noticed that it moved after it could hear. When the predator opened its eyes, the chamber lights dimmed automatically. Safety protocol. It was unnecessary. The creature's visual spectrum extended far beyond the visible range. It did not need light. It did not thrash. It did not roar. It simply stared. And then, slowly, its heart rate decreased. That should have been impossible. Panic crept in through the data. Metabolic efficiency exceeded projections by nearly 40%. Neural plasticity stabilized at levels seen only in sentient species. The creature was learning faster than its designers anticipated, adapting. The economic collective suggested accelerating data extraction before termination. The ecological union demanded immediate shutdown. The legal council stalled. Process required time. Time was the one resource they did not have. The first fail-safe test was routine, a localized gravity inversion. Any instinct-driven organism would resist, flail, burn energy. The predator did not. It adjusted. Internal skeletal structures shifted microscopically, redistributing mass. Neural activity spiked, not in distress, but calculation. The gravity field stabilized. The predator remained still. Someone laughed, nervously. That laughter stopped when the predator closed its eyes. Brain activity did not decrease, it increased. Simulation centers activated, ancient analogs to predictive modeling. The creature was not reacting to stimuli anymore. It was running scenarios. That assumption would cost them everything. A junior analyst, new to the lattice, unburdened by reputation, flagged a comparison. The predator's neural signatures bore resemblance to archived human wartime cognition patterns, not in structure, in behavior. The report was buried. The galaxy was not ready to consider that parallel. The humans observed from afar. They did not intervene. They monitored quietly through channels not routed through the tribunal. They saw the predator's heart rate stabilize into a pattern that matched ancient records, records that predated its extinction. Recognition cycles. The creature remembered containment. It remembered hunters. It remembered waiting. The first vocalization occurred 20 hours after awakening. It was not a roar. It was not a threat display. It was a low-frequency emission that rattled instrumentation and caused several observers to disconnect in pain. The sound lasted exactly 3 seconds. Then it stopped. The predator waited. The silence was intentional. Communications flooded the tribunal, emergency sessions, override motions, accusations. Someone demanded to know why the humans were absent. Another demanded they be compelled to assist. A third finally asked the right question. How did humanity know? That question arrived too late. The predator's genome had been truncated, yes, but its mind had not. The humans had warned them, quietly, deliberately, that resurrection was not simply about restoring flesh. Memory persisted, behavior persisted, and this creature's defining behavior was not hunger. It was restraint. The second fail-safe was activated. Localized temporal distortion. Time slowed within the chamber. Observers breathed easier. Even if it adapted, it would do so slowly. That logic assumed the predator experienced time the same way they did. It did not. Its neural processes accelerated in response. Within the slowed field, it thought faster, much faster. The predator moved again, not against the restraints, toward the center of the chamber. Its limbs folded inward, reducing profile, minimizing exposure. It was not trying to escape. It was conserving energy, preparing. The humans recognized this posture instantly. They had names for it. The Ecological Union issued an emergency termination order. The kill lattice armed. Energy levels climbed. The predator's heart rate did not change. It had seen this before, long ago, on another world, against another coalition. The galaxy believed it was about to erase a mistake. The predator believed it was about to be tested. The kill signal was transmitted. Nothing happened. A system error flashed across the lattice, then another, then dozens. The containment world's auxiliary systems began rerouting power, not away from the chamber, but toward it. That was impossible. No one realized what this meant. A human message appeared in the archive, not live, pre-recorded, time-stamped before incubation began. "We told you this creature did not dominate by force," the human voice said. "It dominated by learning faster than its hunters." A pause. "You gave it something it never had before." Time. The predator opened its eyes again, and this time it looked past the containment field, past the observers, past the galaxy watching in terror. It was not searching for prey. It was searching for the ones who had killed it before. And somewhere, far from the containment world, humanity began to move. Not in panic, not in haste, but with purpose. Because they had seen this moment coming, and they were the only ones who remembered how the last hunt ended.